This hangout is live.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Let's see if I can pull the chat up. Nobody's probably going to be over here because everybody's going to be over at Molly's.
That's all right. It was supposed to.
Nobody's probably going to be over shit. Here. I got to turn that down.
Oh, that's the
Okay, people are over here. Okay, so I'm going to start talking because I'm upset. Hi, everyone. I might lose friends, subs by talking about this, but I don't care. For one, I'm going to say that Molly Golightly is fake. For one, she doesn't know what she's talking about. You know, when it comes to sarcasm, I'm going to start out by saying that, you know, I am so sorry for what you're going through. I'm so sorry for what people are saying about you and your son. My heart goes out to you. You know, you might not even be listening, but I'm going to advocate for you. I'm going to do everything possible for you. I'm so sorry. You know, I vouch for your son because I have been there. My husband lost his best friend, you know, not too long ago, and he was going through the same thing your son is. You know, he was missing, and I dearly loved his best friend, and he was missing for quite a while, and his mother, she was scared to death on a daily basis because, you know, she didn't know where her son was. And you want to help me out with this, Brandon? Because I'm about to.
I mean, the truth is, and one of the hardest things to accept is sometimes people don't want to be found. And I won't say they're missing by choice, but I can definitely tell you there was times in my life where I lived in the streets by choice. At any point, I could have gone home to my mother's, but A, I knew that the way I was living, it would not be okay for me to be there. And B, I really didn't want to put her through that in person. I didn't want her to see me the way that I was living. I don't know that I knew that at the time, but looking back, that was definitely the case.
And also, let me say, you know, when Troy was on the streets, and he was quote unquote missing, he didn't want to be found. And let me also say that he was on parole, probation, and he didn't care about that. You know, he would run, and you know, he could keep himself so hidden that nobody could find him. And, you know, you've got all these people on YouTube, you know, playing Captain Save-A-Hose trying to say, oh, well, I know that he's doing this or doing that. You have no clue. Let me tell you that. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
And most people don't. Most people don't know.
You know, you get on YouTube acting like... You try to debunk this person, you try to debunk that person, and you have absolutely no clue. You just want to pretend like you do. And you're as fake as your plastic surgery.
Multiple times. But the truth is, you know, a couple of years ago, I sponsored a friend of mine and tried to help him out. And this is a guy that did everything he could for a while to stay clean. I mean, he was a perfect example of someone staying sober. He was doing everything he could. And I don't know if it was a combination of mental health and stress and life and going to work. And you had all those things up on somebody, and all they know to do to deal with it is drugs or alcohol. Typically, that's what they're going to pick. We hope they pick recovery. We hope they pick going to the meeting or whatever. But sometimes for any alcoholic and any addict, that's not on the table. There's only one thing on the table, and that's what we know works. Recovery, especially in the beginning, is a test of faith. You don't know it's going to work. You might see it work for other people, but addicts especially don't think it's going to work for them, for the individual.
I try to keep my mouth shut when it comes to these sorts of things. I tried all day to just keep my mouth shut and not saying anything. But when you have people like Molly chime in, it's so hard to not say anything.
Well, and part of what we got to do is take the power away from, take the power away from them. I don't know that person. I live in this house, so I've heard them speak enough times to tell you that it's pretty obvious to hustlers know hustlers. And I can tell when someone doesn't know about what they're talking about because they'll talk a lot. And they'll weave this certain tapestry of BS in between reality and what they think the answer should be, or what they think why their opinion should matter. I don't give people the power to make me upset or angry, or I try not to let that happen, because I don't believe it's worth it to me. It's just not worth it.
I'm not there yet.
And that's okay. You don't, no one has to be. And some days that's easier said than done. And some days it's obvious I do it. There's some days it's obvious I don't.
I'm so flipping mad, I'm shaking. And it upsets me because, I see Troy in this situation, and I loved Troy.
I could name 100, I could probably rattle off 100 names of people that didn't make it. But I can also rattle off another list of names, people that did. And people that, I'm one of them.
In my heart, I know that this woman, sarcasm, I know that she's suffering. And that's my opinion, and I have that right to feel that way. And, I think her son is an addict, and I think that he's suffering, and I have that right. And, all the other people that is trying to debunk this situation has their opinions too. But I have the right to be upset. I'm an addict. I'm a recovering addict. So I have the right to be upset that they are trying to debunk the situation. They know nothing about addiction. And Molly was over there trying to act. She's doing this act, trying to debunk this whole situation. And that is upsetting me. That has upset me to the point to where I've had to come live and say something just because it's upset me. I'm sorry it's upset me.
No, you're allowed to be, emotions are real. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. You're allowed to be. At the end of the day, this is about.
These are real emotions. These are not. This is not acting. This is not an act. These are actual real emotions.
Right.
And,
and the deal is that, we have a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. And thanks to the internet, they're able to display those opinions in front of other people. And sometimes that hurts other people. Sometimes it hurts a lot of people. At some point, my thing is, I won't give that person power to hurt anyone, because I don't think they're actually capable of hurting anyone. I think a lot of the people online that I see are just capable of
Mommy of 3 girls, I hope he's found. And I feel so bad for sarcasm. I feel so bad for what she's going through and what he's going through. I hope he gets help. I hope that he's found. And, I am just so sorry for all of this. I'm so sorry that everybody feels necessary to, try to debunk what they're going through. I'm sorry that they feel it necessary to make it their business. I tried to make it my business just because I feel so bad that everybody felt the need to make it their business. My poor dog's even crying about it.
It's okay, Bella. Don't cry.
I'm sorry.
Don't cry, Bella. Oh, Bella, I think Bella will be all right.
Yeah, she'll be okay. I'm just...
It's upsetting.
Thank you guys for coming in here. I just...
No,
I don't know. I got upset, and after watching Molly for a little while, I freaked out. Like, I was so unbelievably mad, and I feel so bad for this kid. I mean, I don't even know if he's a kid, but I started thinking about Troy, and I was thinking about sarcasm.
There are tons of people tonight with nowhere to go.
And just think about it. Think about it. Molly is spending her Friday night
making fun of people, talking to
that have missing kids.
Yeah, and you tell me what's real and what's fake and what's genuine and what's not.
Whew.
You tell me. I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious that the real people are those are the ones that stand up for those in need that are trying to help other people.
Christy, I don't know why people run to her either. I don't understand. I wish people would really understand and see the fakeness in her. And see that, she is not real at all. That everything about her is an act. Hopefully people will realize it one day. And the only reason I'm crying right now is because I feel so bad for sarcasm and her son. I have such a huge passion for people who are addicts. It almost took my life. And
that's a gift because a lot of people don't care.
Yeah, and come here, Coco. My dogs are spoiled. They have to be helped.
When Sarah cries, they all come around her. They all come up and get because they want to make her feel better. I swear to God, I've seen it just a couple of times. But no, they all come up. They don't want mommy to cry, so Sarah picks them up and then she stops crying. So that's how that works. No, there's tons of people that just
thanks for the hearts, guys.
Don't get addiction. They don't understand it. They don't believe in it. They don't get it, and they never got. They never will until it's in their house or it's in their front yard or whatever.
And I pray to God, those people never do understand it. Never have to have it in their house.
I don't wish that upon anyone.
I don't wish it upon anyone either.
Yeah. It's an awful. It's the only disease that the major component is to convince you that you don't have the disease.
Yeah.
There's a lot of denial in fatal diseases, cancer, HIV, heart disease. A lot of denial, and it's hard to accept that you have it. Addicts will go all the way to their grave never thinking they had a problem. It's one of those things. Addicts will. I have stood there and I've worked in detoxes and psychiatric hospitals and had addicts argue with me that they don't have a problem.
Was I one of them?
No comment. Due to HIPAA, I can't. Well,
confirm or deny.
Yeah, confirm or deny any of that. But I mean, let's think. A psychiatric hospital lockdown unit, a doctor just diagnosed them, and they're trying to argue that they don't even have a problem. Just a bad weekend, a bad summer. Ate too many pills, had too many drinks, whatever. That's the only disease where that'll happen. People with cancer will go get a second opinion, whatever. I mean, I could go on and on, but at the end of the day, addiction's the only one where people go to their grave not understanding it, not really knowing what they got, and that's unfortunate. I was blessed that I had a mom that started talking to me about getting clean when I was young. I was 18, 19 years old. So I got a lot of education on addiction early. And it ultimately probably saved my life. It helped me accept it better, understanding what I had, what I was dealing with.
Agreed.
But, the truth is there's just a lot of people that don't get it. And since they don't get it, they think they got to talk about it and make up their own spin on it. And that is what it is.
Brian St. John is toxic. You were so right. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off here because I know there's a few lives that are about to pop up. And I just want you guys to know that I'm grateful for all of you. And I just wanted to come on here with my husband real quick and kind of vent and tell you guys that I'm grateful for you and thank you for coming on here and listening to me.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, and we hope you have a great, safe weekend.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you sometime, and I'll be making a few videos, and we'll go from there. And thank you guys for the hearts and for the love. I appreciate it. And
Good night.
good night. Okay, now I got to figure out how to go off of here.
Good luck.
How do I end this?
That I don't know.
I don't know either.